everyone, thanks for stopping by my channel. Today is July favorites because July is over. Everybody's very upset about it. It went so quickly. I agree, but I'm not going to dwell. I'm going to move on because the time is ticking away. So if you're interested in seeing what I found really useful and or exciting for the month of July, then let's get started. Okay, so I actually have a variety this month. Last month I only did like my top 5 beauty, but today I have quite a bit and it kind of runs the gamut. It's beauty, skin, hair, nails, odor. So I'm just gonna run right through it and let's see what we got. It's kind of like opening a goodie bag, even though I kind of already know what's already inside the goodie bag, but I'm just excited about them. So it's like we're all gonna be hanging out today. Okay, that's weird, but whatever. So let's start with beauty and face. I'm gonna start with primers because I've actually been really focusing on what primers I like and don't like, and we'll actually be doing a video about that in the near future. And so as a result, I'm kind of trying a whole bunch of primers, and like I said, I'm really paying attention to them. So I've got a drugstore and a high-end, both of which were very surprising actually. Let me start with the drugstore. This is the Rimmel Fix and Perfect Primer. Very pretty little white package. I actually got it because I was compelled by a coupon. It was $1 off that particular day. I think I was in Rite Aid. And I was like, sure. It was pretty cheap to begin with. And I'm like, I'll take $1 off. Why not? And so it's the Fix and Perfect Prolongs Foundation Wear. Pretty straightforward about what a primer is. It's interesting because it's got a color. It's not clear or white, but once you blend it into the skin, it virtually disappears. If you were to wipe your hand off on a baby wipe or something, or a makeup wipe right now, you'd see like a slight tint, but I don't really see it show up on my face, and it's quite a bit darker than my natural skin tone. So it really, for all intents and purposes, I'm like playing bowling now with my beauty products because I just like got a strike. It's just knocked over a whole bunch. So anyway, so the tint that kind of freaked me out at first actually disappears. I really like it. When I look for a primer, because I have oily skin, I don't want it to be too slick, but I don't want it to be sticky either, because then you can never apply your makeup properly when you're applying it to something that's too tacky. And the Rimmel Fix and Perfect is just a good balance of both. And I'm really surprised. I hadn't really heard anybody talking about it. Like I said, I was totally convinced by a single $1 coupon, because that's, I guess, how I roll. But I was just really pleased with it, and I am going to continue using it. So go Rimmel. My other primer, which even if you had a $1 coupon, would be virtually ineffective, because I got the Hourglass Mineral Veil. That's not gonna come up, but I got the Mineral Veil, or Mineral Primer. Why does it say Mineral Primer and then Veil? I thought it was the Hourglass Mineral Veil Primer. That's what I'm calling it today. So in contrast to the Rimmel one, the Hourglass one is white, and when it blends in, it disappears as well, and it has no color. I wanted to say that it had kind of like an illuminating sheer kind of tint. It really has no color. It also blends into your skin as a primer should. This one is just way expensive. This guy was $18, and I don't know how big it is, but it's tiny. And this guy was like, I don't know, $7 or $8, and you can see the price difference right away. But this Hourglass primer, I have heard a lot of people talking about it, and it's just dreamy. It's a little creamier and a little smoother and a little silkier than the Rimmel. So on days where like I know I'm gonna sweat and the idea of mattifying is just completely out the window, this does a nice job of not being too much dewiness and illumination, because it's still, not that it mattifies, but it's not too much, you know? And so on a day where I know that I will not remain matte, I've been reaching for this, and I've really been liking it, and I'm still kind of giving it a go, but initially I'm really liking it, and I haven't wanted to put it down this month. My next favorite for this month is actually a gut reaction favorite. And what I mean by that is I haven't really been using it for a terribly long time, but my first time meeting it, I was like, oh my God, love. It is the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. Now I have been living for the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte foundation because it's just crazy good for a drugstore foundation. But I don't know, everybody was talking this way and I wanted to be born this way, you know, with really awesome looking skin. I don't know how it does it. It completely eliminates the appearance of the very large pores that I have. I have a long list of things that I like to complain about when it comes to my skin, which I think we probably all do, but mine is like super duper long. Big pores are one of the things that I'm constantly trying to work on. And this Too Faced foundation is just a dream. I don't really know what's different about it except the price, because it's probably about 4 times as much as the L'Oreal foundation and most drugstore foundations. But I don't know. At the end of the day, sometimes you get what you pay for, and you are paying for gloriousness with this foundation. Like I said, I haven't used it terribly long term, but I loved it immediately and I haven't found anything to complain about it yet. It is medium to full coverage. It is a little lighter than the L'Oreal Infallible foundation, but I kind of like a foundation that you can build anyway, because that way you can focus on trouble spots versus having a whole face of slightly heavier foundation than what you were looking for. So we can apparently all be born this way if you're using this foundation. So definitely a love for this month. I've recently been using liquid liners, which wasn't normally my thing in the past. I've been completely loving the Revlon Color Stay Skinny liquid liner. So Revlon has 2 different liquid liners that come in very similar packaging, but this one they're calling Skinny, and the reason I like this one is because it creates exactly that kind of line. You can see that you can barely even see the brush. You can see that the brush is just tiny, and I can get a line that's basically super thin. I like to use this on the outer edges of my lashes just as almost like a fill-in for in between my lashes. I'm not trying to create a distinct line. I'm just trying to kind of fill it in, where you've got some spaces maybe between your lashes, and if you're not wearing falsies for that day, this just works really good to, just like I said, just kind of fill in any kind of, just hugging the lash line really closely. And I don't want to create a dramatic line because I'm kind of only using it on the outer corners. And so if you've got a skinny enough brush, in this case, you can actually get pretty thin, which is kind of what I was loving. Another thing I've been loving this month is the Lorac Pro Contour Palette. I just did a review on it not that long ago, so I'll link that in the description bar below if you want to check that out. But I love the palette overall because the shades are super pigmented, they're super creamy. I get a lot of use out of this palette. I use it as an outer corner shadow. I get a lot of use out of the light, and that's on this end, and the medium contour shades. They're, like I said, they're just really pigmented and creamy, and I feel like the medium contour is a pretty good dupe, although way more pigmented, but similar in color to Benefit's Hoola Bronzer, which I'm a huge fan of. It comes with a brush. I don't love it because I think it's a little bit too dense and it requires a lot of blending when you're dealing with shades that are so pigmented. Then you have less control, and quite frankly, I need all the control that I can get. But that being said, I just think it's a really nice collection of contour and highlight shades, and like I said, I've been getting a lot of use out of it this month for a number of different reasons. Even though we're strobing, which is like not contouring at all, it's summertime and you need to warm up your face a little bit, and so turn to Lorac. She might have the answer. I am loving also the L'Oreal Infallible Pro, what do they say? Pro Spray and Set. Pro Spray and Set, that's a mouthful. The L'Oreal Infallible Setting Spray. And then they came out with a baby, which was ridiculously overpriced by comparison. I think this was like it's half the price of this, but only like a quarter of the size or something. It's like ridiculous, but I couldn't help it. Look how cute that is. It's like the mama and the baby. I have a thing about having things in the containers that they were originally born in. And if you can find them in, you know, travel friendly, super, oh my God, so cute. Super cute. So there's a lot of comparison to the Urban Decay setting sprays, which are also probably twice as much money. And I think this works really good. I've actually heard other people kind of confirm what I was thinking but was too afraid to say, because I didn't think it could be possible that a setting spray that's half as much could be just as good. But I've heard a couple other people say that it measured up to the Urban Decay setting sprays. And so I was kind of really happy to hear that, because I thought I was crazy. I thought my measuring bar was completely off and that I didn't know what I was talking about. So it might not be 100% as good, but even when it comes close, I mean, if you have an opportunity to save a little bit of money, then why not go for it? Plus, you feel liberated that you can spray as much as you need to, because you don't feel like you're wasting, like every spray is worth $1. Not in this case. Misting right in front of me as we speak. So super light. I think one of the keys to a good setting spray is the actual mister. Not the mister, but the mister, the thing that creates the mist. Because you could have a really awesome spray itself, like the liquid itself, but if it doesn't come in a really good spray factor, you know, then you're just gonna have glops of liquid on your face, and that doesn't work. Good formula, good mister equals good product at a low price. Go. Brushes. I keep saying that I'm going to do a Morphe review video, but what keeps happening is I keep ordering more, and I'm thinking, well, I'll just wait for those to arrive and then I'll make the video, and I'll just wait for those to arrive and then I'll make the video. But I came across 2 new ones to me that I could not let it go for that video that I keep talking about, and I just had to talk about them now. The first one is the M438. It is a tapered, somewhat small brush, awesome for getting underneath your eyes and setting your concealer under your eyes. I was using the one that was similar from Sigma, and I've been using that actually for quite a long time, and I think Sigma makes equally as good brushes, equally as great, they make good brushes. However, the one that I was using, it's like an F35 or an F25, I forget. The one that I was using from Sigma that basically looks pretty similar to this one, under my eyes was giving me prickle. I was starting to flinch. I was starting to have to say, okay, make sure you hold the brush very particularly, and I was feeling a prickle. Whether it was recently washed or had been softened up or whatever, I was no longer a fan. So I was like, well, let me try the one from Morphe, and it blew me away. My God, you can and not feel a prickle, and that is my #1 concern when it comes to a brush, is I don't want to feel you on my face. You should be just making me feel pampered when I'm applying. I'm just gonna keep going all over apparently and set my concealer on my chin. But anyway, no prickle on the M438, and I love it. The other brush I got, this has to be one of my most favorite brush finds kind of ever. I've been perpetually looking for a really good highlighter application brush, and you can use, you know, really small ones, you can use fan brushes, you could basically use anything. If you have a brush and you can make it work for what you need it to do, then go for it. And I wasn't happy. I'm very particular about the way highlighter gets applied. And any of those brushes are good. And then I found this baby. This is the M509. Oh my God, I don't know what it's made of. It's also, you know, a tapered brush, just by comparison. It's a little bit bigger than the 438 and definitely softer. And so when you apply your highlight, it picks up, you know, enough product, but not too much, which is step 1, don't have too much, but make sure you have enough. And then when you apply, you can just, look at that. That was like one hair that decided it was going to jump ship there. But it's so light and it's just perfect. And I like the fan brushes too. But I don't know. Apparently I wasn't satisfied because I kept looking. And when I saw this one and I've seen a couple other people talk about it, and then I got it and I now know why they were talking about it. So the M509. I will be doing that Morphe brush review as soon as I stop buying more. Lip products. So let's talk about this one first. This is one of the Rimmel Kate Moss lipsticks. It's number, well, is it 08 or 80? I think it's 08. I don't think they went as high as 80. But they are light wearing. They're not completely sheer, but they're not heavy at all. I love the color. It's kind of a mauvey. There's just like a hint of like purple in there. And I'm not talking like major purple because it's definitely pink, but there's just a hint of a purple, which is kind of what I've been gravitating towards recently. I couldn't really tell you why. But I don't know, it caught my eye and it wasn't that much money. And I'm like, well, I'm gonna try that one. And I was very pleasantly surprised. I've heard some people talk about the scent. It might smell like some people's grandmas. And I don't mean that in a bad way. But if you don't have a grandma that smells this way, then you'd be able to tolerate this scent. It's just very light. It's a little floral, but you don't smell it once you wear it. It's really most concentrated in the packaging. So as long as you don't, you know, uncap your lipstick and go, then you should be okay. Taking a whiff of your lipstick. So this is the 08 Rimmel, what do they call it? Lasting Finish by Kate lipstick. And just really nice wearing, especially when it's hot, because it doesn't feel too thick at all. And so good color and good application. Love. My next product turned out to be a tremendous find or discovery, and I can't believe it took me so long. So I recently got a bunch of the ColourPop lippy sticks. Do you not like to even just say that name? So they're just, you know, super popular right now, and they've done a number of collaborations with fellow YouTubers. Do you like how I just like lumped myself in there? Fellow YouTubers who have, I don't know, 1 million times more subscribers than, like literally 1 million times more subscribers than I have. You really can't say that with some accuracy about some other things, that something is 1 million times more. Anyway, so I've mentioned before, actually a couple of times, that I'm a super fan of the Nars Audacious lipsticks. My favorite one from them is called Anna, because it's this, first of all, the Audacious lipsticks are just the perfect blend of matte and satin creamy, you know? And I don't know how they do it. But this is Anna, and this is like my most favorite one. I've got 4 right now. Again, it's that kind of mauvey pink with like an extra dose of purple in it, and I just think it's gorgeous. So I got the ColourPop lippy sticks, and I promise you I'm not trying to name drop right now, but the one that Kathleen Lights created with ColourPop is called Lumiere. I hope I'm saying that right, Lumiere. It's a matte, so it's a very similar consistency to the Nars Audacious because it's not a dry matte. I hate dry mattes. You know, when you see all the feathery lines within your lips, that's like nasty. Well, I grabbed Lumiere one day after having recently worn Anna by Nars, and I cannot believe how close they are. The lippy sticks are only $5. This is the lippy stick on the left, and this is Nars. Well, is that your left? I don't know. This is the ColourPop, and this is the Nars. This is by Kathleen Lights at $5. This is by Nars at $32. And they are just so similar. It's like a really legit dupe for a $32 lipstick that you only have to pay $5 for. Let's just have a moment. Okay, enough of the moment. The formulas are really similar too. Like I said, even though ColourPop is calling this a matte, and it is, because it isn't shiny or glossy or anything, it's not a drying matte. It's almost like a creamy matte, which is what I was so impressed with the Nars Audacious lipsticks, and now I can get something for $5. Now, I'm not gonna break up with my Nars lipstick in any way, because it's true to my heart. But for $5 to wear 1 million see a million, there's a million again. To wear a million times and not even be concerned about price. You could have like 5 of these and it still wouldn't be as much as this one lipstick. So you can stash them anywhere. And I don't know, Kathleen Light's pure genius when she created this, because it's just, I don't know, it's just glorious. We're just gonna leave it at that. That was a lot of beauty. Let's talk non-beauty, but skin. I came across some body butters. They're by NSPA. I don't know what that means. It's by NSPA. Oh, by Nirvana Spa. Oh, okay. So NSPA. Well, when you look at it, before you read the fine print, it says NSPA. Anyway, I got raspberry and mango, and they just call them rich body butters with real fruit goodness and natural vitamins. You know, a body butter is a body butter. Well, almost, but you know. Lotion is a lotion, and what's in them, you kind of care what's in them too. I bought these for the smell. You cannot believe how much this smells like raspberries. And the other one, you cannot believe how much it smells like mangoes. Oh God. It's like a fruit bowl in the lotion tub, in the body butter. And they're pretty thick. See? Yay! That could have totally fallen out right there. I heard movement. You know the squishiness movement? I heard a little movement in there. I got these at Walmart. They were $5 or $6. I've never seen them anywhere else. But it sounds like, well, it's created in the UK by spa experts and lovingly made in the UK. Okay. Okay, UK. That sounds pretty fancy, but oh, I like this. It says at the bottom, warning, our products are so fruity and juicy, you might be tempted to eat them. Well, don't. They are not food. They smell like, actually, they probably smell better than the actual mangoes and raspberries smell. It's just unreal. Plus, that being said, they do not feel greasy. They blend really nicely. They do make your skin feel really, really soft, and I am super fan. They have a couple other flavors, but I just figured I'd work on the raspberry and the mango first. In the meantime, $5, hello? Other beauty and skin, etc. I had read about this product by Biore. The self-heating 1-minute mask with natural charcoal. So I think I mentioned, was it earlier in this video? That seems like ages ago. That I'm always concerned that I have really large pores, and so I'm constantly trying to clean them out, because that is one of the things that gives you large pores, is when your pores are clogged with, I don't even want to think about what they could be clogged with, but when they're clogged, they appear to be larger. So you constantly want to make sure they are as free and clear as possible. I know that charcoal is supposed to be good for clearing out your skin. It's also not very harsh, and so I was pretty excited about this. I had a hard time finding the Biore self-heating 1-minute mask that has charcoal in it, which is good for clearing out your pores, because I was looking for it in a tub or like a, you know, a squeezy bottle or something. But instead, these are individual. There's only 4 in a package. It was about $10, give or take. These are in individual little packets, which, P.S., I feel like they put too much in one packet in order to cover a face, and I have a big head. So if you have a tiny face, you're definitely gonna have even more left over. So I'm kind of not a fan about that. But I'm gonna let it go because this feels so good when you put it on. So 2 things. Literally, when you put it on with your fingers, just you wet your face and then you just apply the mask. It's actually warm. Like, it contacts your skin and feels really warm, and that has to be a good thing, right? And then you leave it on for just 1 minute. So that's another good thing, because it's super quick and easy and fast, because who has time to let it sit on for 10, well, it's really a mask. You could let it sit on for 10 minutes, but you only have to let this one sit on for 1. And I'm not even joking, after the first time I'm not even exaggerating. After the first time I used it, my pores were cleaner. I don't know how. I'm not going to question it. I'm just going to accept it, and I'm going to love the heck out of this and go stock up and buy it. All of it, because I don't think I've ever found anything as effective as clearing out my pores as a 1-minute heating charcoal mask that's super friendly to your face. So last couple minute random, still kind of beauty sort of things though. I'm loving the Garnier Fructis Damage Eraser. They call it a strength reconstructing butter. It's like a very loose hair mask. I use it after I shampoo and condition in the shower while I get on with other things like shaving or whatever. I love It's got a decent enough scent. Actually smells like antibiotics from when I was a child. Do you remember when you'd have to take them and they'd be like banana yellow and like strawberry pink, and they tried to act as if they were a milkshake when really it was medicine, but they tasted pretty good. Well, it kind of smells like that. It's a very pleasant, light scent. It actually looks like butter, which is kind of hilarious because they're calling it a hair butter. I'm actually almost done with this tub and will most likely repurchase. So what am I gonna do with this butter now? I'm going to treat it like a lotion and rub it right into my hands. Two more things. I got an OPI nail polish. Can we see that? That's upside down, but you get the idea. There it is. It's called Alpine Snow. I've been loving really good white nail polishes. Julie G also makes a really good white polish, but I don't know. I'm kind of falling back in love with OPI. I kind of like broke up with them for a little while. I was kind of using Essie, and then I was using a couple other brands because I must have had a bad color that just didn't want to stay on. And remember I had tremendous chipping. It was a big chipping factor. What does OPI stand for? Does it stand for something? OPI. Does anybody know? Please let me know if you know what OPI stands for. I don't know why that just occurred to me randomly in the middle of talking about it. Did I say it's called Alpine Snow? Maybe their formula's better, or maybe something's changed about my nails. I don't know. But I'm definitely gonna be looking at some more colors because this wound up doing a really, really nice job for me and did not chip, despite the fact that I do a lot of things with my hands, including talk with my hands. What is this going on? Last thing is a scent. I walked into Victoria's Secret, it was probably a couple months ago now, and they pump some of their perfumes through the store. And I was just, you know, just something just catches your attention. I was like, oh my gosh, what is that smell? And so I asked the girl, and she told me, and it was Scandalous by Victoria's Secret. Scandalous. Sounds like you should be getting in trouble like once you put this on. I'm not really a fan. It's got the old-fashioned, like, it's closed. It's got the, I'm like squinting, so I'm afraid I'm gonna hit myself in the eye. It's got an old-fashioned like atomizer style bottle, which, okay, whatever. But it's a, so you know how there are daytime scents and then there were kind of nighttime scents, nighttime scents being a little bit more sultry and warmer and deeper, and then daytime scents, I mean, you can wear whatever scent you want at any time of the day, quite frankly. I don't care. But a daytime scent being fresher and fruitier or floral or, you know, whatever. This is like a light evening scent. I'm not a perfumer, so I can't even begin to describe it. And things smell different to different people, so just go in the store and smell it. Or, you know, get a sample or whatever. But it's evening, but it's not overwhelming evening. And that's kind of what I really like about it, because you could basically wear it all day. On top of which, I just really enjoy the scent. It totally caught my attention. I was not looking for another perfume. I basically have two signature scents. Viva La Juicy by Juicy Couture and Gucci. I'll link that below. I can't remember which Gucci it is, but the Gucci is my evening scent and the Viva La Juicy is my daytime scent. And then I introduced this guy into the mix and I love it. It's a little pricey, but it's pricey the way perfumes are normally pricey. But you can get body mists as well, which are significantly less money. And so what I will do is layer, and I'll hit the scent points on your body, which, you know, behind your ear, the collarbone, the edge of your wrist, aw. And then I take a bath in this. Worth a mention now at this point. It made the list, it made the cut. Okay, so that completes my July favorites miscellaneous beauty and product list. Please tell me what your favorite products were this month, because I love to hear what other people love. And if you've got any comments about any of the products I mentioned today, I would love to read about those too. Thank you so much for stopping by. I am on other social medias if you care to find me and check me out. I appreciate you spending this time with me. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Until then, I hope you have a really great day. Thanks.
Ooh. That was a bad burp. Good thing I didn't do that in the middle of chatting. This is the Revlon Color Stay Skinny Eyeliner. Liquid liner. Liquid liner. Liquid liner. No. I've really been loving this past month. I just developed a spontaneous lisp. A lisp? Why is the letter S in the word lisp? That is inherently very, very mean. I developed a lisp. Oh, now I'm making, okay, move on. So yeah, I was really excited about that. Bam! It's very thorough with putting that down. Let me see. Okay, so this, is that hammering? For real, we're hammering. Why don't people and neighbors be neighborly and clear this with me prior to making a heck of a lot of noise? That means I'm gonna have to close the window and then I'm going to die of the heat in here. Perhaps they have stopped. Okay. So I kept looking for a tub and I couldn't find it. The hammering stack, excuse me. And, okay, we're just... Oh my god, it says, don't be dirty on the packaging. Was that like a public service announcement, or were they talking about your skin? I'm not sure, but folks, let's just all make a collective goal. Don't be dirty. Alright, so that's it. Whoa, I was like yelling. Like, alright, did y'all fall asleep? Because I was talking so long, so it's as if I need to wake you up.